What's up, everybody, man? So, I'm gonna try to organize this video. I don't want this video to go an hour, but hope I can put it together the right way because I've been trying to do some other type of videos. But so it this the conversations is really redundant. But at the same time, it's kind of a refresher. So someone asked me is that when you meet new people, what are the kind of stuff that you ask them? And I was like, I have a number of questions that I ask people to see what side they on, so I could identify who these people really are. Because people, when I made that Jessica X video, and people was like, you know, that was like, oh yeah, I'm wrong. I was wrong about Jessica X. I was like, but I was right the whole time. I said, there's when you've been doing this ever since 2002, before YouTube was ever made, before people was talking about MGTOW and SYSBM and everything else. This is back when I was more like what? I don't know. When was that? I still was a teenager. So I was quote unquote red pill as a teenager. I knew that I wasn't normal. And I had to fit in, and it fitting in was a very, very exhausting thing. I had to listen to dumb conversations. I got myself in certain troubles. I got jumped multiple times. I had to sit and listen to dumb females. The biggest regret that I have is a ex-girlfriend who was my one of my best friend's sisters, and that haunted me because she continued to talk shit even after 15 years after the fact that we were grown. So I try to break down uh I try to break down questions that you might want to fold into a conversation when you asking people something so you can know what kind of person you're dealing with. And there's more questions and I just forgot them. But there's also questions that you can see where the mindset at so you don't have to deal with certain people. Because what people don't really understand is that the the go outside gang and the go out in the real world gang, you're dealing with the same people, it's just face to face. And some of these people are very, very violent. And some of these people are shit starters and shit talkers. And nobody has time to deal with some people talking shit about you because of your affiliations with Trump, or you don't believe in a religion they believe in. This is why I said that online interactions is better than offline interactions. Because offline interactions, you might be just like myself, who figured out after a decade of dealing with a person, that was my mistake, of decades of dealing with the people, that they were the wrong people to be around. See, when you deal with people online or at a distance, you get to choose, and the blowback isn't really all that bad. See, in real life, you establish a connection with somebody, but you also establish they also have an indoor sight of what you are, and they have your secrets. I had to deal with that. I had to watch what I said to certain people after we not became friends, so they don't try to blast and say all the stuff, blast me and talk about me. Oh yeah, man, I know this about him. I know this about him. I know him about him. I had to deal with that a few years ago. A piece of shit dude who was hanging around me decided to tell a chick online about my personal life. Then the chick online, uh, the chick online, she couldn't hold it in and blast it out. So I had to confront the dude. I had to literally confront the dude that was supposedly be my friend and had to break it down to him. It was like, yo, I know it was you. And he was like, oh, no, that wasn't me. I said, no, it was you because the girl told me. You was trying to get in her DMs and you dirty Mac me. I said, what was your point in doing that shit, man? Oh, man, you be saying all this crazy stuff. Like, dude, I was there for you when you was depressed. And when your aunt did this and did this and did that. And he's like, yeah, man, but man, you know how it is, man. I'm like, you know how it is. I'm like, dude, you understand that you fucking it up for other people, right? I said that to him to his face. I said, you fucking it up for other people, because if somebody come to me, I ain't gonna want to help them because of something that you did, and I'm gonna blame it on them because I don't want this to happen again. And I said, dog, I was there. I said, how about I tell your shit to people, man, and blast you on there and tell everybody what you was on. I was like, yo, man, I'm like, you know how I got this information? And I told him how I got the information. I said, stop. I said, dog, I have everybody who talked about me, I got that shit in my back pocket. I said, the best way for you to do is talk about me to people face to face. Don't talk about me online anymore. I'm like, dude. And I was like, yo, it is what it is. We ain't cool no more. But don't be going telling people online about my business when I know so much about you as well. So he started talking about me in real life. Didn't stop him, but at least he learned. So that's the kind of shit that you have to deal with. That's the kind of shit that you have to deal with face to face. There's a lot of time wasting that you have to do with people. A lot of people act like other people don't have time. And that's why I made a video a long time back. I forgot what it was. Shit. I gotta go back to my old videos. But I made a video. I made older videos when I said that people go to single men like they got all the time in the world. They walk around and be like, oh yeah, since that person is single, I'm gonna go and bother him more than I'm gonna bother the guy who's married. And then you have to like break it down to people like, wait, you understand that I'm not gonna sit here and waste time with you. I still got things that I gotta do. Oh, you single, you don't have a life unless you have a female. And that's what they try to say. That's shit. Okay. There we go. So here go the video. Here go some of the questions you have to implement in your conversations, right? So how many hours it takes to get a woman? This is one of the things that a lot of dudes don't really say, right? You have to make it clear that you don't have time to waste with anybody, right? So you turn around and tell them, okay, how many hours does it take to get a female? And they won't tell you. Or I don't know the hours. How you don't know the hours? Ain't you a pro? And then they kind of go, they kind of try to do all the shaming and stuff like that. And when you try to make it clear, because you, unlike they are, you don't go through life spontaneously. This the reason why the women like them and they don't like you, because you know how you can track the things that these people do. See, and a lot of people, they put their faith in other people way too much. One thing that I learned over the years is that people will let you down. They will let you down, and they will blame you for it, and then turn around and say, "Oh, why did you why did you believe that I was your real friend?" In a little bit per se, all right? People will let you down. Society will tell you to go out and do something, but they won't tell you any specific things, right? There's where is it? There's instructions in everything that you can build, right? People teach you, you go to school for learning about things that's inside of a computer, programs, trucks, vehicles, everything else. Why not you have any type of schooling and teaching for the specific people that you're dealing with? Why haven't anyone broke it down to you on how many hours and how much money you have to spend in order to be in society or deal with the crap that's in society? Because they want you to go in society without any type of a number to go to, right? If people knew that it took this amount of hours and this amount of money, they couldn't go around telling you that you can't get women. They couldn't go around telling you to get married. They couldn't tell you to do this and do that and do this. So this is why they hide the numbers. They hide the numbers from you so you don't know. So when you do fail, you you go back to them asking them for an opinion. It's weird that they all want you to be a part of their plan, but they don't want to be a part of yours. So it's all this big tussle with who they want to use, all the while they don't want to be used themselves. So let me here we go. So when you ask how many hours it takes to get a woman, it glitches them out, because the fact is you're asking them how many hours they spent talking to a woman, and you putting them to the test on, hey, tell me how many hours. If you're really good with women, your numbers should be lower than mine. Because if I'm not good with women, it should take me longer to get a woman than you is. But if it takes you 6-7 hours to go get a chick, that shows me either you don't have anything to do, you don't have no job or whatever, or you can't participate into certain conversations anymore. Because now I know where your time is going at now. I know where your time's going at. So you can't participate in the white man doing this to me, I don't have opportunities and all that. No, you spend 17 hours on females. You spend 44 hours on females. You're the reason why you can't get nowhere. And it makes them look stupid. So, how much money you have to spend to get a woman? The game guys, this gets them stuck when you talk to the game guys about this, right? So it's like, hey, how much money you spend to get a woman? Oh, it's for free. No, it's not. Because you're paying, you're dressing up and putting on nice clothes, not for her, but for you, not for you, but for her. You're spending money on cars, you're spending money on smell goods, you're spending all this stuff just to peacock, just to get a girl to be attracted to you. So you actually is spending more money than the so-called trick in the long run. And your investment isn't there. And they hate that. That's why they either will run from you or they will try to insult you. How many good people in the US? This question always this question's always mess up a lot of people, right? Because you got to ask them a specific questions of how many good people you think is in the US, and they can't tell you. They can give you a percentage. And I said, which city is it? And why haven't the good people made websites for only good people? Clubhouses, groups for good people. The same people touting this nonsense that there's good women, this. Why haven't those good women go against these majority of these women? Why? I can tell you why. Because they're not good women. They're women who want to pretend, but they don't want to do the real work. So, let's how much money does a man have to spend to impress a woman? So, a lot of people hate this question, right? Real self-improvement is for self. It isn't for women. It shouldn't even be on your mind if a woman looking at your muscles or not. That shouldn't even be mattered, because there's plenty of times where when I was quote unquote super in shape and I saw people looking at me or talking about me, saying he's big and blah blah blah, had chicks bumping into me on purpose, and it was annoying. But it was for me. It was never for them. When you really are self-improved, Are you improving yourself? You really don't have time to care about what other people think. And you sure don't have no time to sit back and and be like, "Oh yeah, you need to do what I'm doing." Cuz you're too busy doing your own thing. So, I kind of it's kind of weird that it's like no one can tell you how much it takes to impress, how much money it takes to impress a woman. They give you a bullshit lie, but all of it leads to you doing way more than you have to, than the next man, or way more than you have to than what she doing herself. Okay, how many times a man gets sex after he got a girlfriend? So I asked this question to a lot of people, and a lot of these dudes really don't say anything. They say, "Well, I don't count." Hmm, it's not that hard. There's a app called Thing Counter. It's easy to count anything. I used to go out, and there's other ways, but before this came out, I used to go out and see how many times people would look at my sneakers and make jokes. I used to go and see how many times people would talk about the game, the game, the game, the game, the game. I would go and see how many people or how many times I seen the word incel under comment sections and this and that. It's easy to track shit if you really want to do it. But a lot of these guys don't want to do it because, as I said before, it will expose that it ain't worth it. See, I already created my system, which I might share to people or I might not share. But once you understand how much access you really have with all the time that you put in, you're going to get mad. And I'm going to show you why a lot of guys get mad about that access, and a lot of guys get super pissed about the reality of what they in and what they had to do to get this woman. And the results is a lot of examples. The results is just bad. So, yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to bring the compilations up real quick. So, how much money a man spends being with a woman, having a girlfriend or a wife? So, I call it the woman bill. The woman tax per se, right? So, a lot of dudes like to act like they're not spending money, even though they're spending money on food. They're spending money on so-called weed. They're spending money on this for this woman to consume it and enjoy it. And also, if they have a job, and it depends on what type of job they have, but it's the money is going to amount up. And a lot of people never actually do their own. They don't become. You can become your own personal. You could become your own personal accountant if you just see how much money you spending on yourself and when you're with a chick. You can take pictures of receipts. You can write down things. You can put it in a little list. You can do everything. They got apps for that as well. To show how much money you spending and to put the titles on there. I spent this amount, 44 cents on this thing. I spent this on some coffee. I spent this on something to drink. I spent McDonald's on this and on this. All of that shit adds up. This is why I said a lot of these people don't deserve to be in certain conversations. Because they already wasted their money and their time on these females. They just not telling you the price that they had to pay to be with these females and be good at to be good with females. Where are all the top men at having 20 girls? So I always ask myself, if these guys are so good with women, why don't they have multiple women like one guy in this space had? Marco. Marco had multiple women. He always bring them around, show them up. I miss some of his videos. He used to show what it looked like for a guy to have women. Not say you had women, but he actually showed that he had women. But all these guys talking about how alpha they are, how they got these women and all this other stuff, but they never have this big cooperation between all the women and then be like, okay, I got all these women right here. I never see it. So let's go. How much money it takes for people to like you and fit in? People don't like this question either. So how much money will it take one person to fit in the general society today? This is a bill that won't stop going up. Let me tell you. There's the people who telling you to go get help. There's the stupid life coaches that trying to tell you to go to the gym. There's the gym membership. There's the car. There's the job. And the job might not be enough. There's your eating. There's the going out every time. There's the clothes budget that you have to spend. There's the drinks that you have to spend. There's the time that you spend right there without that. There's the aspirin that you have to take listening to stupid people. There's a whole big giant bill that you're paying once a month, once a week, once a day, and it doesn't stop. But no one will tell you how much you're spending to fit in and be friendly with people, how much time and money you're going to be spending. How many useless conversations you have to listen to for people to say you're normal? This is the socially awkward conversations when people call you socially awkward. See, in general society, they want you to always be the listener. They always need somebody to listen to them. They always need somebody to pawn their ideas off on somebody. Trust me, I know. I was that guy listening to somebody's problems and listening to them talk and hanging around them and being a supportive person. And it got me absolutely nowhere. The people turned their back on me when it was time for them to ditch me or ditch me for somebody else or ditch me for a female, whatever. And it was like I didn't get paid in doing this good thing for these people. All I got was an insult, a bunch of insults. And then it was like, okay. Then you're like, okay, I'm not doing this anymore. And then society turns around and say, well, you need to do it again. I don't care how much it damaged you, you're going to heal. And don't understand that healing might take 3, 4, 5, or even 10 years. You're not just going to go out there and try to make a friend after you've been trashed for 10 years or something else. But then there's in society that they want you to do is just sit there and listen to just stupid stuff for male and female. This is why I am a selective. I socially select with certain selective of people. I select the conversations I want to be in now. When it's conversations that I don't want to listen to, I bounce. I say I have to do something. I'm done. I don't have time to do this anymore. Every conversation has to have meaning. Every conversation has to make me improve on something. It has to be something that I'm getting out the conversation. Not just your entertainment. Why don't men have divorce support? So this is the question for these so-called good women that out here pretending they advocating for men. Where's your website? Financial website for men who going through a divorce. Where's it at? You don't have to wait for the laws to change. You can actually do it now. Oh, my bad. You don't care. Because you want to do the same thing to the man you're with. And this comes from the so-called black manosphere too. We don't have to give it to dudes who are here talking shit about guys being single and saying they're the players and all this other stuff like a G.A. Boy or Gabe A or Mike Shimmery or any of his dudes if they go through a divorce. We talking about guys who got cheated on. We hear their stories. And then we make a selection of guys and we help them up. It ain't that hard. But nobody never did it. There's none out here. Why don't we have support after failed dates? There's a whole bunch of piece of shit people who tell men to go out there and go out there and go out there and go out there and fail, go out there. You know, stupid ass Solo T84 before he turned into Crypto 84, right? We'll talk about his failed dates and all this other bullshit that he was talking about, talking shit about incels. But there never been a coalition of men, other than myself, because I think I'm the only one who did it, who, when guys go out there and date and women don't give them the stuff, or they go on 3 dates and they listen to these stupid ass people, oh, impress them, have a personality. 7 weeks later, 14 weeks later, 23 weeks later, 90 weeks later, and they only had sex 1 or 2 times with the woman. All the while they're spending all this money, they're spending all this time, and they don't have no good access to the sex that they work so hard for. And then when you actually look at how much a dude is spending on a female just to get to impress her, you're looking and you're like, damn, I feel sorry for you. Society fucked you over. Here, let me break you off with something real quick. Don't do this shit again. Or this is the last time I'm helping you. That's it. Or some guy is spending $20 on a female and she don't like him. Don't do this again. Stop listening to these idiots. But we don't have that in a selective sphere. Why can't men make easy money? So people might think this controversial, but where is the male version for the OnlyFans for male version? I mean, the male version for OnlyFans for men. And I'm not talking about anything sexual. I'm talking about websites or whatever. Easy money for certain guys with an other stream of revenue. Because a lot of men have to work real hard to get into space. You know, you got the Twitch streamers and all that. That's not easy. That's hard. But there's women out here, even ugly women out here, that can go straight on OnlyFans, make an account, play with a bunch of toys, and make $1,500 fast. Now they might not make $1,500 like that easily. I mean, not easily. It might not make $1,500 like that all the time. But the minimum of what chicks make is probably around $200 or $300. That kind of money in a responsible man's hand could do a lot. But we don't have any other revenue for men to make easy money. They have to grind for that shit. And then all the while we have these idiots who tell you that you gotta do this and do that and do this. What laws help men? When you ask people what laws that help men, they always point to certain I don't know, exceptions. But overall, they will have to admit up front that there's no laws that do help men. They're all pointed towards the helping women. Why do men? How much money does it take? How much money it takes for a man to be in society? Which is that's the same question, but it's in a different variation. How much money does it take for you to be in society? Right? Be a full-fledged member of society. Pay taxes, be a head count for organizations or a job, or be a customer be a customer to multiple companies for society to count you as a person in society. What does it take? So, why do men have to impress women and never the other way around? See, when you say this out here, they get mad. Like, well, what do a woman does? What do a woman do to impress a man other than wear makeup? Women don't make a man laugh? Women are not told that they have to be this and this and be that, be this and this and that. They just have to fake stuff. 9 times out of 10, a lot of them don't have any personality. If you put them in front of a million people, they wouldn't know anything. They need social media more than men do. But everybody's telling guys to get off social media. They go in the real world. When every female has a TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or other any social media. But you tell people to get off the line. While you let women and yourself have online interactions. Should men pick anyone who likes them? That's a question that a lot of people get wrong when you ask them that. So let's 40 minutes. Didn't want it to go that way, but hey. So the cluster of women out here making OnlyFans, especially women in relationships, is a stalling, right? You got Renee Young, who's the wife of Dean Ambrose, pondering if she's gonna make an OnlyFans. You got Tony Storm, who made $10,000 in an hour for basic pictures on OnlyFans. So let's see. This is the reality of being in relationships in this society, and all the questions, that's all comes down to it, right? And these same people who tell you to go outside and get in relationships and get with women that you don't want to be with and need good women and all this other stuff, they're never around when things go wrong for men. Let's go. Woman on parole fatally stabs one boyfriend accused of stabbing another in the neck after breaking up. So, parole don't work for women. They do a crime and then they do the same crime, killing a person. So this woman, unattractive, could find another man to be with, and the dude breaks up with her because something mentally wrong with her. She's 55 and single. And she stabs the guy in the neck and kills him. But the law didn't keep track of her, telling her to stay away from men because it'll make her look bad, or it'll probably mess this behavior up. Where's the group of people telling this woman to get help? Are you serious? And she's smiling. We have so many mentally ill females in America, but for some reason, we are told that it's so many, it's abundant of good women. It's abundant. It's all these women in America, and you just can't pick one. Wow. So I'm supposed to put my hand in a bunch of mouse traps, in a jar of mouse trap, thinking that I'm gonna pick a winning number, and I'm never gonna get my hand never gonna get slammed by the mouse traps. Huh. 82-year-old man is charged after a body is severed of a 60-something-year-old woman. A 82-year-old man will remain behind bars after the body of a woman was found at the home. This guy is 82 years old, committing crime. 82. So, ain't anybody gonna ask the question why an 82-year-old man is doing this? Because we're told that, society is rainbows and sunshine, right? So pictures like this is trying to lie to people and tell people that every relationship is happy and sunshine and rainbows, and it's not. So a man and his wife decided to pick up a young couple and save one of the couples from drowning. The couple decided to get mad and fight the dude because he involved himself. See, this is what white knighting does to people. This is the result of being a white knight. You involve yourself into certain situations and you have to do things that you don't want to do, or you end up in a situation that you can't recover from, or you have to recover from, but it takes a lot out of you and all of your money and all your time to recover from it. So this guy decided to rescue a couple who drowned off a jet ski. They brought him in a boat and they started fighting him. The young couple was fighting and the older couple was trying to help them. Then the man tried to fight the guy and ended up getting shot and killed. How is men supposed to trust women when every time a woman has a issue with a man, she goes on social media and blasts that guy, make videos, make TikToks? Relationships are not sacred anymore. Even the good women are jumping in on this, right? How is somebody supposed to look at this? Because a lot of people talk about optics. How is other men supposed to look at this kind of shit and say, why would I get into a relationship with somebody and share my secrets and share all of my life with her, and she goes out and blasts my information to everybody? Mind you, this is a woman who was with Drake Bell when he was accused of all that other stuff. Now she goes against him and talking about him. See, this is why a lot of guys don't date single moms. It's because stuff like this. Missing Florida man was emmed by the mother of his child and new boyfriend. So this woman decided to get her new boyfriend to get rid of her baby father. But you telling men to take what they can get. You telling men they gotta have sex with something. But when stuff like this happens, you don't report on it, right, Reg the bad guy? When you made that video about incels and virgins, and you 50-something years old and you're not out there yourself, but hey, you're not going to make videos about this because it'll mess up your narrative, right? Mom took her own life after 2 years of battle to get her children back. Families say. So in the UK, a judge made a decision to keep this woman away from her kids, which was the right decision. But this is an exception. There's a lot of women who are taking out their kids because the kids are in their way, but the laws give kids to the mother, not the father. So she took her own life because of a battle that she had with the husband. People have empathy for her, but if a man did this, somehow, some way, he was a coward and he should have fought in court. There's this phenomenon, right, of these dating coaches and these life coaches telling men to get with these women. You have to go to the gym and work out. You have to have confidence in yourself. You have to do all of this stuff and blah 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 blah. And they're going in jails, finding husbands and boyfriends. They're going to the homeless shelters and finding husbands and boyfriends. You know why? Because they want to have power over men. They can't do it with an incel or a guy who can't get women, because eventually the guy's going to figure her out. and then he's gonna bounce because he see what kind of woman she is and she's trying to control him. But if a woman goes to a homeless guy or a guy in jail, she could take over his mind and rewrite. She could rewrite. She could rewrite his whole brain to be just for her. Because this is what women really originally wanted to do. They wanted to take a certain group of men that they love, that every other woman love, and rewrite them and just grab onto them and say, this is my man. They wanted the 20% of guys that get all the women to be for them. This is why a lot of them, got a lot of these women are side chicks and stuff like that. This is a phenomenon. It ain't changing. A lot of these women don't want men. They don't want men that you have to fix. They want you to fix yourself. But that's only for guys who are unattractive. But the guys who they find really attractive, who's a bum, they want to try to take advantage and try to fix him. So you're going to see more stories like that. Then we have another story about in Brazil, about a woman who decided that she want to have sex with a homeless man over her muscle-bound guy. And people wanted my thoughts on this. So let's see, right? The chick mustly have mental illness. I know a little bit about Brazil. Most women don't cheat down. They cheat for rush and fun. I can understand if this chick cheated on him with one of the gang members or drug dealers or cop or any other like that. But she cheated on him with a bum looking dude with a gut. So either she felt a rush with him. A lot of women will break up their marriages just to feel a rush. And the good women that y'all all talk about, they all want to take part in this because they couldn't take part in this. See, a dude like Super Sly would say, yeah, man, you just now getting here. You just now getting to this level. But there's a lot of women who never been able to have a whole phase. There's a lot of women who never actually participated in cheating. There's a lot of women who never participated in certain things that they can do now that they're married. So they do it while they're married. And they hurt the man that they with. And then they don't care. And the guys are told to just move on. Just move on. It's that easy. Just move on. Waste more time, waste more money, and just move on. It's just your turn, right? That's the dumb mentality of dudes who don't care about your money, about your time, and how much it took you to get there. They just tell you to move on, right? Just move on, right? The chick had mental illness. Most women are not going out sleeping with homeless men. They're not. Especially in Brazil, they're not doing that because they know it's retaliation. Now, there is women who will sleep with a guy who has this charm about him, but they're never going to go date homeless dudes. They're not dating homeless dudes. And a lot of people are out here, yeah, he must got the big dangling. Like, no, that's American mentality. That's not Brazilian mentality, man. The sexualness in Brazil is very different than over here in America. They don't really go. Their stuff goes different than over there. Yeah, they got size queens over there, but it's not really like that over there, man. It'd be the quite opposite, just like right here. So, Florida driver plows through preschool playing ground, killing taking out 4-year-old, injuring child. So, you're telling me that if I get this chick mad, she's gonna try to run me over with a car? But you're telling men to go out here and date these type of women. And there's more women like this out there. Teen who bundled liquor looking like a goth will be free from jail. So this chick was, let me check. Let's see. I can't find it. So, woman pleads guilty to spiking her employees' energy drinks. So, this is what we have to deal with, right? Without anybody telling women they're wrong, without them having to deal with consequences, we have about 50, 60,000, probably more than 100,000 women out here, probably millions of women out here who do things like this to men. They're dangerous to everybody around them, but guess what? They get a slap on the wrist and they get put back on the street, causing chaos, hiring men to take out the men they don't like and broke up with them and everything else. And then you're telling me that I have to choose from these mentally ill people who don't get consequences, don't really get help, and they have a jail record longer than anybody can know. Evil mom who let her lover take out her baby now calls her the monster as a crime sink in. Wow. So there's a lot of these women who bring the wrong men around their kids. And imagine this, right? You have a kid with a woman. The courts pick her for the kid, and she bring a random dude around your kid, and that dude decides to hurt your kid. While these stupid pieces of crap tell you that you should be in court fighting. Then you are in court fighting and you lost the case. Then they go around telling you that you should have had a better lawyer. You see what I'm talking about? See what I'm talking about? This is the thing, right? Uh, a notification came up. They're trying to get you in these traps so much with these reckless behind females. And then they will make you sit there and do most of the work just to go see your kid. You're going to be wasting money, time, and all this energy just to see your kid on a weekend. While these pieces of shit disappear when something happened with you like this. And then they go back online and talk shit to another group of people who ain't in the same situation as you, so you can be in the same situation and they can disappear again. So we got this situation right here where this woman was pretty much cheating on this dude, playing him, and dude snapped. See, this is the type of women that are out here who waste dude's time, and then when a dude snapped, then he's the monster now. Do I have to say anything about this? So, this is popping up more and more. Men are trying to date certain women they think are nice women, and they end up getting set up and eliminated. So, Instagram hottie turned out to be a honeypot, luring men to a torture den. Wow. This ain't just this not just on this is not just Instagram. You dumb shits. This is in bars where they put stuff in people's drinks. This is in clubs where they put stuff in people's foods. And you can get played like that anywhere because these women don't have consequences on them. They're allowed to just get smacks on the wrist and then do it again and disappear off social media and then come back on there after 5 years. A woman got 200 years for abusing her 9 children with her Pookie boyfriend. So, what people ain't gonna talk about is a few judges out there that are sentencing these women to the right fair of judgment. And this is one of the cases. But there's a lot of women out here having kids, and they shouldn't be having kids, but you want men to go date women like this. Imagine you date a so-called single mom, and you find out that she is abusing her kids. But now you're an accessory because you didn't know she had those kids. But hey, there's so many women out here, right? A chick who took herself out because she had a conflict with one of the coaches at the place. This is a trend now because a lot of these women have been bolstered up by society. And when there's nobody there to bolster them up, they don't have anything to bolster them up with, they end it all. 2 adults, 2 children found DEAD in suspected subject MS in Texas. So this man decided to take out his wife and his children. This is what I talked about when a man wastes his time with females and have kids. This ain't right. But in the mind of a dude who on his last legs with a female, he don't blame the kids. He just want to erase his legacy out in the world. Is it right? No. But he blamed the woman because she might have did something. Because a lot of dudes don't take this route. They don't take this route like that. She might have been cheating on him. It might have been something else different. But there's a lot of this going on now. And he went after the kids. A cosplay model accused of M tells jurors she stabbed fiance in the back after a drunken brawl escalated, left her fearing for her life. So this is a trend as well, that the women can go beat on their husband, cheat on them, and then when the man raises his voice, she can go and eliminate him and say, I was fearing for my life. I was abused. And these courts who side with the women let them out. And then they do it again. And then when they do it the third time, while they on their third man, magically everybody said, whoa, what we did was wrong. 3 guys are going because of us. Oh well. We're going to continue to tell these guys to go. We're going to continue to tell these guys to go get a girlfriend or have sex with anything and go outside and do all this because we don't care. A woman, TikTok star, charged with M after allegedly chasing down and ramming victim's car. Wow. And bragging about it on social media. A young woman died. DS and MF. Gunman talks about mental health on live in police standoff. See, these women. These women get involved with these dudes. And for some reason, we gotta feel sorry for them because they got eliminated by their crazy behind boyfriends. So, this guy who took her out said this. Let me listen to it. I'll save you commentary. I'm not gonna. He was some phony, felonious rapper. And she was a nurse. So these guys are who we supposed to be? I hear the side like a Super Sly or a Danica Marie. We gotta learn from these guys, right? We have to learn how to get women like these dudes who end up taking the lives of the women that they with, right? It's funny, right? And they're the ones with more mental health than anybody else, but we have to emulate what they are, right? Because we are the dangerous ones. While they're full-blown serial killers who killed more than 3 people through gang violence, but the incels are the dangerous ones, right? Right? So, this guy was on live. So, we're believing that incels are the problem. And this space, especially a Reg the Bad Guy and all these other stupid ass dudes who talk about incels, I don't see any live videos of them doing anything like this. All I see is from these fucking pookies and these idiotic females and jumping out of windows and shit like that. The guy got a live video of him pretty much saying that she's dead. He shot this girl, went on Facebook Live, and showed his last before he took his life. Jay Black wasn't an incel. He had 2 kids going on the way. He was a failed player, but he wasn't an incel. Because remember, incels, they go on sprees, and incels are the most dangerous in America. But you glorify bona fide serial killers and these rappers. So I'm watching the video right now of this situation where the dude is on Instagram Live in a thing. So pretty much we got a Pookie here who talking about he was dealing with a lot, but I bet you he was online talking about dudes don't get no vagina, and he end up he end up dying over a vagina. See, and this is the stuff that none of these dudes who tell you to go out with these women tell you. They got unstable ass niggas behind them. And the roster of dudes that they sleep with are unstable as shit. You don't want nobody to come around because somebody dealt with them from the past. So I'm listening to it right now. So this dude basically expressed on a live video saying how people playing games with him. I don't mean to laugh, but this is what they promote. That you continue to keep going in this mess and dealing with these people while they messing your mental up, and then you go to these felonious shithole counselors that try to blue pill you to go back into the world, do the same shit again, so they can get money out of you, trying to fix you to get you back up so you can go back out there again. Okay, there we go. So there was a white male. Okay, 3 people are dead. There are a white male, 31, a female, 23, and the suspect, 23. The male victim was named whatever. The fourth person was shot in the leg but survived. He was not named. Blah blah blah. It's believed that the suspect shot himself. He was shooting at the front bench. This dude had a gun charge. And he's talking about he suffered from PTSD and paranoia. I suffer from paranoia and PTSD. I'm not a normal person. I love people. And you want people to keep going through this with these kind of people out here who society let junk just do whatever they want. Okay. This is the reality of stuff over here. Where where men will hunt down the women for wronging them. She blamed him for destroying her marriage, so she, blah blah blah, right? So, a woman, I think a lesbian woman, cheated on her wife with a man. She goes and eliminates the side dude and blames him for her cheating. And I bet you she'll go out of jail soon. These are the women out here that you telling men to date, who hide their kids and make them eat their own waste. This is the type of people out here that will let men like this be around your kid. If you have kids with one of these women out here, they will take the kid, you will have to fight, and all the while you're trying to fight and you have to see your kid on the weekend, your kid's going to end up going based off of her dating choice. This was the big news back then. A woman who had a psychologist, and the psychologist wasn't good. And she ended up jumping out a window. On a expensive thing. And they said, I think 2 months back, there was a man who jumped out of the same apartment building. This is what happens when you date one of these women, is that they will go around claiming domestic violence on you. This is what's going to happen. This is the kind of stuff happens in America. This is the reason why guys don't date in America. We have women out here, like I said before, setting up men. And it's a normal thing now. They're setting men. There are more and more of these women thinking they can get away with crimes because they are getting away with it. And the more they see women getting away with crimes, doing it to men, they're going to keep doing this. So, that'll be the end of it. I'm going to put part 2 out. I'm going to let this upload. This is all about. This whole video about, and I ain't wanted to go an hour, but I'm going to give you another examples. Is about they shame, blame, and explain to men as well.